The one area of the law that we haven't touched upon,
Okay.
and that is actually the bulk of my work, is in the wage and hour arena.
Okay.
Now, under the Fair Labor Standards Act, which is called, you may have heard of the FLSA,
Yes.
requires that just about every employee receive at least minimum wage, which is
Nothing,
7 and a quarter, which is hardly meaningful to most people. But what is meaningful is that almost all employees are entitled to overtime pay of time and a half of their regular rate for all hours worked over 40.
What do you mean overtime pay? I mean, if you're not clocking in and you're signing a book that you came in at 8 and took half an hour for lunch and left at 5.
Right.
How do you document that for overtime? If you work, let's say he asked you to stay until 9 o'clock, and then you get the paycheck and it's 40 hours.
Yeah.
And how do you
The
document
employer is obligated to keep accurate time records. And I mean, you were describing a sign-in, sign-out sheet.
Yeah.
That would be
Honor system.
That
The
would be
honor
the
system.
documents. Yeah. And if there's no records kept at all, then the employer has failed in its obligation, and the employee's best recollection of what the hours they worked would be best evidence.
So do you advise people that they have a camera, telephone, to take a picture of that page? Just in case you do?
I do.
Yeah. That will be a record that you have the date, the time, and somehow, somewhere, we have to be wise and smart, because the employers already have, a lawyer.
Yeah. The employer holds most of the cards in the employment relationship.
And by the way, the last thing that I want to ask you, where does your fee come from?
Most of my work is done on what is called a contingency basis.
Okay.
Meaning that we don't charge our clients anything up front, and that we only collect a percentage of what we are able to collect for the client.